Good morning, everyone. Muriel here. Welcome back to my channel. So the other day I got a couple of responses to some Happy Mail that I'd sent out, and the person wanted to know how I made the envelopes. I made some envelopes that I sent out to some of my subscribers. They were made with this paper. They were 5x6 envelopes. Really cute. I just don't have a sample one left. But if you got tags from me, they came in this envelope. So she was wondering how I made it because it is laminated. And cheers to you all. It was laminated. So there are lots, of course, you know that, tutorials out there for how to make these laminated envelopes, but she asked me to, so I thought I would quickly put something together. I could always use, because I am giving my neighbors some treats, and I don't have a card, so I will make a card and I will use these envelopes. So let's get started, because I don't know, I don't have any, editing rights or or things with my camera taping. So I'm just going to show you how it's done. The first thing I did was I pulled out a 12x12 sheet of paper. I happen to have a bunch of this paper. It is double-sided, right? It's black on the inside and music sheets on this side, while this one here was just single-sided. And single-sided works fine. And this was American Craft. I had gotten a pack of them at Tuesday morning. It was just like 50 sheets in a pack. Nothing to do but make envelopes with it. So that's what I did. So you take your 12x12 sheet and you're going to cut it according to the envelope punch board to 9x9. The reason why I am cutting it 9x9 is because that's what goes into my laminating machine. I can't get anything wider. So it'll fit 9. So a 9x9 cutting will give you a 5x6 card, if you can see that right there. So you're going to cut your paper 9x9 and you're going to score it at 4 1/4. So hopefully you have one of these, because that's the beginning of how to make it. That's what I've done. I've cut it 9x9. I've scored it. I've punched it out. I've punched the edges, made them round. Ignore the tape on here, because I'm going to, again, make this regular envelope, not laminated. So then you have your thing. It's ready to go into the laminating machine. I always just kind of press this like this to get the lines creased, so that I can see them when I put them in the machine. So then I get my laminating sheet and I place this in the sleeve of the sheet. I'm sure you know how to do that. And the problem, I won't say a problem, but you can see here that this paper takes up the entire width of the sheet. So you really need to make sure that you have a little bitty room. There's like a millimeter edge on both sides to help it close, right? So I've placed this in my sheet. I've closed it up. I've pressed it down. I've run it through my machine. And then this is what I get. So what I need to do is cut this bottom part off, because we don't need that. And you can still see my score lines, which are perfect. So let me get my machine out, my cutter. I am up early this morning, of course. My daughter has gone to work. The official time is, so I start work at 7:30. So we'll go ahead. We got plenty of time to get this going. So I am going to kind of cut that edge off. Again, you don't want to get too close, because you don't want to ruin the envelope after all that work. So I think I'm going to go like right about there. I think that'll be good. Okay, edges off. Throw that in the trash. Okay, let's move this out the way. Get a sip of this coffee. Okay, so now I can kind of see, especially when you're dealing with paper that has an image on it, you want to make sure as much as you can that you carefully know how you want to make this envelope look so that it's not upside down, right? So what I'm going to do here is I just, first I want to You can kind of see here where the, let's see here. Let me get something dark so you can see what I'm talking about. What do I have that's dark? Oh, okay, here we go. I want to take that extra little piece kind of out of there, but I don't want to ruin the integrity of the laminated paper. So I'm just using a hole punch. This is it's a nice big size. If you also have a crocodile, you could use that, but this is a little bit bigger than the crocodile. So I'm just going to slide it in here like so. Not too close, but let's see here, and just kind of, oh, maybe I should use a laminated. Maybe this is, oh, good gravy. Okay. This is going to help with the folding, bending of the plastic. See, so now you got a different little look there, right? And that's all like super, super sharp, but we can cut that. We can trim that up. Okay, so now I'm just going to go around and do that on all 4 sides. I mean, you could certainly just cut it with your scissors, right? If you have some really sharp one. I just finished sharpening all of my scissors. Come on, let go. So I hope that they are on point and that they come through for me. Okay. So I'm just going to go through here. There you go. Okay. This just helps when you start folding it, if you don't have this extra plastic. There you go. So you can kind of see they look a little better. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is to gingerly fold my edges here, right? Just really one little bend. I don't know, what would happen if it popped or cracked. I don't know, but it has a little give, and that's all I want to do is bend it just a little. And see, I can feel right here a scratch. So I'm just going to just a little trim that. Okay, so now I'm looking at the front. So I think my envelope should maybe look that way, hopefully. So if I crease my size like that and bring that up and over, that should work. And this worked out perfect. It does work out perfect if you have dimensional cards. I made a lot this year. They had, flowers and string and buttons and all that stuff on them. So they worked out great. So that's how my envelope is going to look. I see something else I need to kind of trim here. There we go. So now your envelope is ready for the snap. And that's what I use to close those. I use these snaps. And this is the I'm going to call it Lehio or Lehio snap and plier set. I ordered it on Amazon. It comes with the pliers and a plethora of snaps. So you get little tools up front here, extra black snaps, some clamps, tweezers. You get this little pokey tool, a screwdriver, flathead, and then you get a plethora of snaps. And it worked out perfect because I used a lot of green, red, and white for the holiday. For this envelope, I put aside some black ones. Okay, we use this pokey tool because we're going to need this to start the hole. Again, this is by Lehio snap and plier set. You can order it on Amazon. Okay, so I know my envelope is going to be bent like this. Actually, let me take some off of this edge. I mean, you start to play with it and you realize, oh, that corner is kind of tight. So you kind of go around there and trim. So it's going to look like this. So what I'm going to do is put some tape on this side and this side. But before I do that, I need to determine where my snap is going to go. So if my envelope is closed like this, you know, you want your snap to go right there, but you also want it to jive with the other side. And then with the tool, you can only go but so far inside the envelope. I'll show you what I mean by that. You know, you can only go that far, right? So you have to determine where you're going to put it on the top that is going to match with the bottom. So that was your envelope closed. Everything looks good. What I normally do is have my pokey tool and I just kind of guesstimate that if my hole is right here, if I lift that up, that looks about right under there. You know, it's all guesstimation. So I'm a figure, I'm going to put my hole right here. And because it's laminated, I'm going to kind of poke it a little so I could be able to see the hole on the top and the hole on the bottom. And I don't know if you can see that hole, but it's right there. And then the one on the top. So let's go ahead and make this a little bigger because we're going to put the snap through. So I have 2 of the top snaps, right? Flat backs. And then there's 2 that go on the bottom, and they do differ on how they look. You can kind of see that there. If you were to turn them over, you can see they look different there. So this part goes into that part like so. Okay, so the snap fits just like that. So let's deal with the top first. Let's see here. Grab those 2 here. So I have my flat piece here. I'm going to push it in. And then this part here, I want on the open side. So we're going to push it on that little pokey part there. I kind of get it in there, and then I'm going to use my tool to secure it. So this black piece here goes on the top of your snap, and then the bottom will be for the bottom. So we're going to do it like so. And let's go ahead and push that down. I only had one time where the snap came separated from the envelope. So you can kind of see it's in there now. That pokey part has come through that part there. Okay. So now we're going to do the bottom. Let's make that hole a little bigger so we can get our snap part through. This is going to be the tricky part. Is the snap goes on the inside now. Okay. Because when you close it, that will snap onto that. Right? Okay. So I'm going to push this down. Here's my other piece here where that raised edge will go on front like so, because that will fit up in there. Okay, so get that in there. Same thing. Let's see, the black part is going to be on the top, and then this one will go right over the snap. And we're going to push it down. Okay. Voila. So now let's get some tape. I have some double-sided, and I like using the red tape because it holds it very well. So we're going to just put some on this side. And like I said, I just sharpened my scissors, so they are on point. Look at that. My sharpener, I found it. I had it in here. Like I said, I needed to do a lot of rearranging, but it is by Fiskars. And it does a really good job. You just kind of put your scissors in here like so. And you have some sharp scissors. Okay. You can use a thinner red line if you want. I just don't have it out. This is what I have out. And then I also see another little point right here. Let's round that up. Okay. This is such a manly envelope, it looks like to me. I have my friend that we are going over to his house for Christmas. I'll take some gifts over there. I may have to give him this envelope because it does look very manly to me. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this. Oh, let's pull this off. Panic for a minute. Okay. And then pull this off. Okay. Okay, so that's the front of our envelope. And then I'm going to close her and then press her down. Let's see here. Clean it up here so it shines like a nickel. Okay, now the front, I did some fancy stuff too, and all that fancy stuff is put away, but I still had these stickers, right? I put a little sticker on the top right corner up there, and that's where the person's name went. And then I had like Merry Christmas in here. So what I have and I found is this chipboard piece here, and we can just pull this off. But I'm also going to put some red line tape on this so I make sure that it stays. Okay, take this off. And there you go. It looks like it needs seems like it needs a flower or something more red. Let's see if I have a poinsettia on hold. Some kind of, that's too big.